In this spring championship season, it's time to crown a high school hockey champion in Illinois. The 2006 final of the Blackhawk Cup takes place today. Loyola against Glenbrook South. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the United Center. Jim Blaney along with Steve Conroy. We have somewhat of a surprise matchup in that Loyola is here. They're trying to win their first state championship in 10 years. Glenbrook South back in this game for the first time since 1989. One of these teams will walk away with a state high school hockey championship. And Steve, for Loyola, maybe the thing they're battling is the feeling that, well, we did what we always try to do in the postseason, knock off New Trier Green, which they did in the semis, but one more game to go before they can claim a title.
They don't want any type of letdown whatsoever, and maybe in the back of their minds they felt that was a championship game. They got a pretty good opponent in Glenbrook South here tonight, and they're going to have to bring it again this afternoon.
Let's take a look at how Loyola got to this championship game. They were a winner Monday night in the semifinals over their arch rival, New Trier Green, and this was a battle of goaltending in this game. Two of the better goaltenders in the state. Alex today for Loyola, you'll see him today against Mark Ingram for New Trier.
It was a goaltender battle throughout, very close game. There's today bigger of the two goalies in that game, very good at controlling his rebounds, and we see Ingram too, really matching him throughout this game, shot for shot.
This was also a very hard-hitting game against probably two of the most intense rivals in Illinois high school hockey, and as it did in the championship game in '96, it came down to a late goal.
Well, exactly, and do you expect the physical play? It was a late goal. Matt Jennings earlier in the game had missed it, but they get the goal late. They hung on. They had to kill a penalty right at the end of the game, and they hang on for the victory.
There was a 1-0 victory for Loyola in that game. Now, the interesting thing about Loyola is they come in this game, they like to roll over their lines, whereas Glenbrook South, maybe not as deep, but they certainly are fast. Their semifinal game against Neuqua Valley, Bobby Hull taking part in the ceremonial puck drop, and there were a lot of goals in this game, and it started early.
Yeah, it started early for Neuqua. They scored the first goal of the game, but then it's Scott Pfiffner for Glenbrook South who comes back, ties the game at 1, and Dane Swanson, you see the mad scramble. He's the captain of this South team. Good job, good hands, and he gives them the 2-1 lead. It gets tied again midway through at 2.
Then Joey Vargo scores to give Glenbrook South what would eventually be a lead they would never give up. Dan Girding made it a 2-goal cushion, but late in the game, Neuqua came in, tied it. Neuqua was on the power play at the very end of the game, but could not get any closer than that. So Glenbrook South, they were a winner over Neuqua by a final score of 4-3. So I guess, Steve, the real question going into this game is, can Glenbrook South, the fact that they are faster, but they're maybe not as deep, can they get a lead in this game and then maybe force Loyola to not be able to just roll their lines and send the next group out?
I think it's possible, especially when you consider the fact that they're 14-minute periods. So we're only talking about a 42-minute game, and you can get away with using 2 lines. But I'll tell you what, if Loyola can get on the body early, try to tire them that way, the advantage goes back to them.
So a very interesting matchup that should be quite a chess game as well between the two coaches. We'll be ready with the opening face-off when we come back to the United Center for the championship game of the 2006 Blackhawk Cup. It's Glenbrook South against Loyola.
Today's Blackhawk Cup game is brought to you by Hinkley Springs, the official bottled water of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, great.
Can we get out?
I don't know. Well, my folks said we can stay another night.
There's a reason it's called the Escape. The Ford Escape, with an intelligent four-wheel drive system.
Get 0% financing for 60 months. Plus, current Ford owners get an extra $1,000. That's right, 0% financing for 60 months.
Have you made the O part of your morning? Or perhaps part of your game? Maybe an afternoon in. Or an hour in the gym. An elegant evening out. Or a vacation somewhere far away. You'll save on thousands of products at Overstock.com, as well as books, business supplies, auctions, and travel. Make the O part of your life. Overstock.com. It's all about the O.
Tomorrow, the Sox are on Comcast Sportsnet. It's another clash in the Cactus League as the Southsiders square off with the Kansas City Royals in Tucson. White Sox Royals tomorrow at 2 with a replay at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey, hockey parents, give your kids a summertime hockey blast with Chicago Blackhawk Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico. We offer full-day summer hockey camps for boys and girls. Veteran coaches Randy Jordan, Ray Thabar, and Bill Martin lead our charge and are joined by Hawks heroes like Troy Murray and Steve Conroy. Our camps are comprehensive, challenging, and a total blast. Great coaches make the difference, and we've got them. Call 312-226-0002 or visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com. That's Chicago Blackhawks Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico.
McDonald's Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hi, I'm Jim Corno, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Comcast Sportsnet Chicago. Thank you to all who supported this year's Comcast Sportsnet Sports Awards dinner benefiting the March of Dimes. This year, we are proud to have raised over $330,000 for the March of Dimes Birth Defects Foundation. And to date, the Sports Awards has raised more than $5 million for this wonderful charity. With your generosity, we will continue the fight against birth defects, premature birth, and infant mortality.
Welcome back to the United Center. Jim Blaney along with Steve Conroy. We're getting ready for the opening face-off of this 2006 Blackhawk Cup Championship game, Loyola against Glenbrook South. The gentleman you're looking at is Rick Friddle of Hinkley Springs. They are one of the sponsors and have been for many years of the Blackhawk Cup. So he will drop the ceremonial first puck, and the gentleman taking part of that, Ben Picar's on the left from Loyola. And we should mention there's a little jersey snafu going into the game. You saw Chris Benz of Glenbrook South taking the draw. The Glenbrook South guys, they showed up in their yellow jerseys, and obviously you can't have two teams wearing the same colored jersey on the ice at the same time, so they had to go into the locker room and grab some Blackhawk practice jerseys to get ready to play the game, so it might be a little confusing at first, but we'll all get used to it very, very quickly. Loyola, of course, has been a power in Illinois high school hockey for a long time. They are a fixture here in the Blackhawk Cup, but they have not won a championship since 1996. In 95 and 96, they won consecutive games, but they have not been able to win a championship since then. They've been here a lot, but they've never been quite able to get back over the hump and claim a state championship. For Glenbrook South, they are in this title game for the first time since 1989. That was their only visit to the title game. They were a loser in that game, so they are trying to win their first state title. There's the starting goal for the Loyola Ramblers, Alex Today. Steve, he was unbelievable in the semifinals, posted a shutout to get his team here.
Movement, kind of guy who handles his rebounds very well. And funnily enough, he's going to be heading to the Naval Academy in Annapolis.
And the gentleman, excuse me, Steve, the gentleman playing goal for Glenbrook South, that is Steve Galanis, who, yeah, he gave up 3 goals in the semifinal game, but he was very, very good once his team got the lead. And again, the quick synopsis on this game is the fact that Loyola will roll over lines and play everybody. Glenbrook South, they concentrate on the top 2, and we are underway at the United Center. Dane Swanson, Chris Benz, and Joey Vargo starting in the forward positions for Glenbrook South. They are in the red, and for Loyola, it's their top line of Matt Jennings, Kevin Sikowski, and Rob Johnson, who had the puck bounce off his stick right there. And now counting the other way is Dane Swanson. Swanson up on the right wing, comes in, face-off dot, goes to his backhand. Today was able to shovel that to the back corner, and the Ramblers now come away with it. Terry Feldheim, part of their top defensive pair. He takes a big hit from Chris Benz at center ice, and Glenbrook South able to clear it back to the Loyola blue line.
That is a great open ice hit by Chris Benz, lined him up and laid out the check.
So we've had our first line changes now in the game. It'll probably take everybody a little while to get used to playing here. The Glenbrook South guys on their way into the arena having that sense of awe that we see every team that hasn't been here in a while in their case, where they have to get used to the surroundings. And let's face it, you're playing where the Blackhawks play, and for these guys, it's a pretty cool thing.
Oh, it's funny. I talked to both coaches about that, and I say, how do you get them so that they're not overly excited for the game, maybe a little too nervous? And they told them just to prepare like it's any other game. Tough to do when you're at the United Center, but it always helps when you get that first shift under your belt, maybe get a hit, and at least touch the puck.
Dan Girding carries it ahead for Glenbrook South. He will roll it into the Loyola end, where it's picked up by Michael McCurr. He had a bit of a blowout, but was able to clear it to the near side. Now the Ramblers try to work it the other way. Steele deep in the zone. Jake Waldron came up with it for a moment, and again, the Ramblers able to put it back out to the Glenbrook South line. That one held in, and now the Ramblers counter the other way. Sam Gutash carries it up the right wing, shovels it into the near corner, where it's picked up by Grant Hesberger. He rolls it along to the far board, kept in on the far side by Aaron O'Callahan. He flips it high up into the air and further into the corner. Girding took a chop at it, couldn't clear it out. Second try is a charm, and it goes back to center ice where it's tracked down by Josh Descent.
Aaron O'Callahan, a name that might sound familiar. He is the son of Jack O'Callahan, former Chicago Blackhawk, and of course, the Miracle on Ice winner in 1980 for Team USA.
Let's take a look at how the Loyola Ramblers got to this championship game, and they got rolling early in this tournament, blowing out Sandburg 8-0, a win over St. Viator 3-1, and then took out Fenwick, the defending state champions, 4-1 before winning that semifinal game over New Trier Green on Monday night. And the Ramblers right now control it in the Glenbrook South end, as it's pulled off the end board by Paul Biasco. Biasco and Mike Jacinto working it out of the corner. They put it back to the point, and now a four-man scramble along the near boards, and then it's pulled off out of the corner by Glenbrook South. Chipped back to the point and kept in. Long shot from the point, that didn't get through. And now Glenbrook South a chance to counter. They'll dump in and go for a change.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time in their own zone. It's funny, when you're on defense, you tend to get more tired, especially when you're hemmed in. Good decision there by Glenbrook South just to get the quick change.
Biasco has it in the deep slot, tried to throw it forward. That was picked off. And now here come the Titans the other way. Bringing it forward is Chris Benz. Top line is on for Glenbrook South. Loose puck along the end board, pulled out of there by Joey Vargo. Then he had it taken away. Dane Swanson took a chop at it. And now coming out is Josh Descent for Loyola. Threw it into the Glenbrook South end, and now the Ramblers will go for a change. Pulled down by Matt Jennings. Jennings had a couple of breakaways in the semifinal game against New Trier Green. Wasn't able to score on either of them, but certainly a guy that has the speed to get out in front by himself. Kept in along the near board by Swanson, and then we get a whistle. Well, the referee had his arm sideways, not his arm in the air, but it does look like we're going to get our first penalty of the game. Take a look at the road that Glenbrook South took to get to this championship game. Again, they were a winner in their semifinal match against Nequa Valley. They've given up at least one goal in every game. Took care of LT 6-1 in the opening round, then took out Stevenson and then Naperville Central before winning their semifinal game. Michael McCurr rolled it around to the far side. Another big hit. Been a lot of hitting in this game so far. McCurr has it on the near board, shovels it in backhand, puts it in deep to the Glenbrook South end. Mark Drucker gets there first. He rolled it along to the far board. Glenbrook South able to carry it out. Girding had it taken away. Shot from deep in the slot. A little bit of a problem by Galanis in handling that one cleanly, but no harm done. And again, a lot of hitting along the near board. Descent throws it out in front. Nobody there for Loyola. That pass was picked off. And now Glenbrook South able to come the other way. They try to carry it deep into Loyola end. That pass picked off by Nick Kalis. He sends it up the far side, but not out. That was kept in by Trevor Stevens. Now shoveled in behind the net by Mark Zuba. Another collision behind the net. Zuba cycling down low. Now cleared out to the far side. Chopped at by Gutash, and finally Loyola able to send it back out to center ice. So you see a lot of times in these games, Steve, both teams just kind of trying to get their legs underneath them. Nearly get turned over by Glenbrook South in their own end.
Well, you know, we've seen a lot of good hits so far, and it's not that surprising because although they're not overly big, both these teams, very good skating teams. And when you can skate, a lot of times you can just close lanes and shut down distances. And so far we've seen 3 really good open ice hits.
Mark Higley puts it out into the neutral zone. Aaron O'Callahan had to wait for a teammate to clear before putting it in behind the Glenbrook net. And O'Callahan able to keep it in at the point again. Then that pass taken away before it could get out. Shot, and Galanis able to make the save.
Nice save by Galanis. The first one, you're right, he looked maybe a little shaky. I think it was the first time he touched the puck, but that time a nice blocker save with authority.
Now the other way for Glenbrook South. Shot by Benz. He tried to get today moving the wrong way, and then he missed the net to the near side. Back out to the deep slot. Dane Swanson carries it to the corner. O'Callahan comes in and puts in a hit. Descent clears it up the near board, and then it is knocked out. Johnson in a race for the puck with DiMaggio. And now the puck held up at the Glenbrook South blue line.
It's number 1 line of Benz, Swanson, and Vargo getting some chances. That last time, Benz with a shot just a little wide.
Paul Biasco stepped around his man. Nothing doing there for Loyola. Now it goes back to the Loyola line where Michael McCurr has it. He'll send it back into the Glenbrook South end. Glenbrook South will take the opportunity to complete a change. 2 Glenbrook players ran into each other, and that cost them a chance to clear the puck. Benz with a hit, couldn't get possession, put it in behind the net, backhand out in front, and that was back onto the backhand of Sikowski. He couldn't get it loaded up for the shot. One of the Glenbrook South players temporarily lost his stick. Centering pass out in front, that didn't find the target. Johnson in the corner, tried to tap it ahead, and now a loose puck along the near boards goes back out to center ice. Loyola right now starting to control the action a little bit. Here comes Jennings. Jennings puts on the brakes, waits for a trailer, and instead will throw it behind the Glenbrook South net, and Loyola will go for a change.
There's number 2 line for Glenbrook, the girding line, having a little problem in their own zone. And right now getting a little tired. We see a couple of guys getting changed.
Right now what Loyola is doing, they put it in deep, they cycle it for a while, and then they go for a change. And today is going to have to cover it up. Has one of his own guys fall on top of him as McCurr was pushed into him. We get a first whistle. 7:22 remaining in the first period, no score.
Bielanski, who ended up pushing the defender over top of his own goaltender.
We're back with more from the United Center in a moment. This is Blackhawk Cup 2006.
Monday, spring training heats up in the Arizona desert as the Crosstown Showdown shifts to Mesa when the Cubs square off with the White Sox in a Cactus League collision. Cubs Sox Monday at 2 with a replay at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Start your day the right way with McDonald's Sports Rise on Comcast Sportsnet. Catch up on the previous night's biggest news. Get all the highlights and hear interviews with your favorite superstars. It's the best way to start the day. McDonald's Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet.
You have a small business and a big presentation to make. You just need someone to put it together perfectly.
Don't you worry about a thing.
You need the UPS store. We can print, copy, collate, and bind. So while you worry about picking a tie, let the UPS store worry about making your business look good. That's our thing. The UPS store, the place for document services and a whole lot more. Right now, get 39-cent color copies at your local location of the UPS store.
This April, the biggest event in sports entertainment goes big time in Chicago. It's WrestleMania. And you can kickstart the weekend early when Chicago Cycle presents our WrestleMania autograph session. Meet WWE superstars Matt Hardy, Gregory Helms, and Victoria in person at Chicago Cycle Thursday, March 30th at 7 p.m. Then, it's the power, the spectacle, the celebration of WrestleMania from the sold-out Allstate Arena. Order it live on pay-per-view on Comcast Sunday, April 2nd.
Sports Day, weekdays at noon, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggins. Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll break down the Final Four with NIU basketball coach Rob Judson. Plus, our own Dan Plesac stops by to give us a preview of the 06 baseball season. So join us Monday at 5:30.
Back at the United Center, no score midway through the first period of the 2006 Blackhawk Cup. We've had a lot of skating, a lot of hitting. No scoring so far, and really, Steve, no really good scoring chances either. These two teams have played good defense through the neutral zone.
No, I think there's a bit of a feeling out period, and we're still in that, just a little under 7 minutes into this first period.
Trevor Stevens able to win the draw for Glenbrook South, but that's taken away and brought the other way by Sam Gutash. He tried to throw it ahead for his line mate Ben Picars, but he was taken down. Now Glenbrook South will try to work it out of their own end, and they do, but that was picked off in the neutral zone by Gutash. Picars rings it back in. Gutash gets there first. Four-man pileup for the puck along the far board, and Glenbrook South able to clear it out. Good job, because they were trying for the home run pass, trying to get it to Chris Bielanski.
Loyola likes to keep their third guy high. They'll dump it in, they'll send two guys hard, but that third man, the winger, one of the forwards on that front line, normally stays back with the defenseman.
Descent, pounds it off the near boards into the Glenbrook South end, and you see Loyola doing what we talked about, Steve. They're just rolling over everybody right now. Even in the first period, they're going with very short shifts, and they're changing up their guys early and often. It's about one trip in for each one of the forward lines before they come off and make a change.
A good strategy. Get everyone in it early. You never know when you're going to need somebody. And remember, it was this Glenbrook South team. Their third line scored the first goal of the game, and they had not had much ice time up to that point.
Knocked down in the Glenbrook end. Benz had it on his stick for a moment. Paul Biasco chopped at it. Now it comes back out to the neutral zone. Dane Swanson following the puck, but not getting there first. Kalis comes out with it, makes a nice outlet pass, but that will slide the length of the ice, and they wave off icing. 5:48 remaining in the first period. Big hit along the end boards by Biasco. Took a kick at it, couldn't move it out. Now Glenbrook South moves it ahead. Dane Swanson nearly had it picked off at the blue line. Second attempt, it's picked up at the blue line. Shot by Biasco and a nice save made by Galanis. Kicked it over to the far boards. Pulled off the end boards by Jennings. Reverses. Number 1 line on for Loyola right now, but they can do nothing with that opportunity as they end up turning it over. Bringing it the other way is Joey Vargo. Has it roll off his stick, and now Jennings has it. Well, when Jennings gets it, you don't want to give him much room because he can certainly take it coast to coast. Centering pass that went under the stick of Benz, and now Loyola a chance to counter. Here comes Johnson. Johnson over the blue line. Johnson down the right wing, fires. Galanis makes the save. Leaves the rebound there for Jennings. He got a shot on, and then it was kicked behind the net.
He was being checked on the play, too, but earlier spun off that check. A nice little spin-around to get free and almost get a great scoring chance right on the doorstep.
And we get a puck fired into the benches, so we'll have a whistle with 4:51 remaining and still no score in the game. 4 shots on goal for Loyola and 2 for Glenbrook South. We're back with more from the United Center. No score in the 2006 Blackhawk Cup Championship.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
At a department store, you can get a big and tall suit for $475. K&G has big and tall suits that look just as good for less than a quarter of that. At K&G, you'll find incredible savings on a wide variety of men's and women's extended size fashions. K&G Fashion Superstore. For men, for women, for less.
Need new windows and siding but don't know who to call? Call Empire today at 800-588-2300. We'll install energy-efficient custom windows with self-cleaning glass and durable maintenance-free vinyl siding in 2 weeks. You'll save with our low warehouse direct prices plus make no payments till 2007. You'll even get a free gift. For custom windows and vinyl siding in 2 weeks, all you need is Empire today. Call now.
800-588-2300 Empire. Today. Tonight at Red Roof Inn, Bill stays in a Business King room.
Look at the space.
And feels like a Business King himself.
Multitasking. Chances of me working are remote.
Don't miss the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Friday, the Bulls are on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Ben Gordon leads the charge into Charlotte as the Bulls' playoff push continues against the Bobcats. Coverage starts with Bulls pregame live. Bulls Bobcats Friday night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
Welcome back to the United Center. Daniel Girding chased out of the faceoff circle, so Jake Waldron will come in and square off. And the draw sent all the way back down into the Loyola end, where it's picked up by Nick Kalis. Kalis takes a look. Pretty decent breakout going on right now for Loyola. Picars threw it ahead. Galanis has to shovel that one into the corner. Seen a lot of scrums in the corners for pucks so far. That one got back out of the neutral zone, came back in. Nice move at the blue line, and then not everybody had cleared for Loyola, so Josh Descent called for carrying it back in offside.
Just offside. As you mentioned, some of the scrums along the board. So far, it's really been Loyola who's had territorially anyway the advantage, keeping it deep in Glenbrook South's end.
So the faceoff will come just outside the Glenbrook side. I knew I was going to do that once today. Glenbrook South end of the ice. And that time, Benz didn't get chased that time. He just changed up, and Vargo took the draw. Won it back into the Glenbrook South end. Glenbrook South moves it out. Vargo dumps it in behind the net. Today plays it, and he leaves it for Terry Feldheim. Feldheim couldn't move it out, so they try and bring it out the other side. This is Michael McCurr. Puts it out the neutral zone. Jennings got it to Johnson. Johnson will chase it down into the corner. Jennings comes in and tries to help out, and it's pulled off the end board by Michael Kerr. And Kerr able to send it back out to the neutral zone, where it's picked up by Michael Mitkerr. We have Michael Kerr and Michael Mitkerr playing in this game on opposite sides. Jennings had it taken away, and a nice defensive play by Higley, and Glenbrook South able just to throw it back into the neutral zone.
Yeah, Higley playing the man perfectly, really just looking him in the eye, but using that stick for the poke check and stripping the puck cleanly.
3:33 remaining in the first period. McCurr carries ahead, throws one toward the net. That went behind. And then Sikowski came in. He took a hit before he could put it back in deep behind the net. And Loyola, for the moment, able to come up with a turnover. Now Benz throws it up on the left wing, and that turns out being picked off. Picars threw it back into the Glenbrook South end. And now Loyola will maintain possession while Glenbrook South goes for a change. 3 minutes remaining in the opening period, and still no score in the game. Picars comes up within the neutral zone, trying to battle his way down the right wing, throws it in front. That hit a skate, and Galanis made a nice save.
I believe that went off of Hesberger, Galanis' own defenseman in front. He still makes the stop.
Joey Affinati with a nice athletic move, put it out in front, and then it rolled off a stick. And then taking it the other way is Scott Pfiffner. He'll throw it into the Loyola end, and both teams will go for a change. Good pace to the game, still no score. Picked off at center ice by Mike Jacinto. And now the Ramblers throw it into the Glenbrook end. Off the end board and out the other side, Mark Higley sent it up the wall, still not quite out of the zone. Chopped at by Jacinto. Came away with it for a moment. Jacinto got to the deep slot, couldn't pull the trigger on a shot, and Terry Feldheim will go back and track it down. Descent along the near board. Threw it ahead. Biasco had it on a stick for a second. Descent had to roll off the stick again and then back out to center ice. Loyola dumps it back in. They were short of center, so that will be an icing call with 1:55 remaining in the first period, and still not a score yet in this game.
Well, DJ LeVar, he is no stranger to these state championships. This will be his 8th trip to the high school state championships. He is 2-5 so far. Of course, DJ LeVar, brother of former Blackhawk Mark LeVar. And DJ just had his father pass away February 11th. Huge man in Illinois hockey.
Especially with the Loyola program.
And Don LeVar, always a friend of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Loyola trying to work it out of their own end. And there hasn't been a lot of possession time in the Loyola end for Glenbrook South. Centering pass, no, instead it's a shot from a tough angle. Kept in at the blue line by Clint Davis. And here we go, going the other way. Johnson has Jennings with him. Johnson throws it to Jennings, but under his stick. He had his stick lifted just at the last moment. Jennings carries on, comes to the deep slot, has a look, he fires, and that one goes wide. Rebound picked up by Sikowski. He was on his backhand and couldn't get a shot on. And finally, Glenbrook South able to throw it back to neutral ice.
Yeah, that was Joey Vargo, the forward, coming back, helping out the D, taking care of Jennings with his stick.
Sikowski shot. Johnson couldn't get his stick on the rebound. So 2 good chances for Loyola on this shift. And Glenbrook South sends it down to the other end. Mark Zuba in deep, has it taken away by Descent. Final minute of play in the period. Up the far wall and finally carried out. Gutash in a battle for the puck at center ice. Won the battle, now carries ahead over the center line. Gutash carries over the blue line, throws it over on the wing. Picars got in too deep and instead has to just try and swat it behind the net. Loose puck in the corner. Pulled out by Glenbrook South, but held in. Gutash fanned on the shot. And Glenbrook South able to clear back to center ice with 25 seconds remaining in the first period. Loyola trying to mount one more challenge very quickly here. Puck rolls the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Automatic icing in high school hockey. You do not have to touch the puck. As soon as it goes over the goal line, icing is called. 10 seconds left. Shot. Galanis with a nice kick save. Goes into the near corner. Now 7 seconds remaining. Pulling it out of the corner is Affinati. His centering pass, nobody there. Chop back in deep one more time, but that will do it for the opening period of play. So some good chances for the Loyola Ramblers in the opening period of play, but they don't cash in as Stephen Galanis and his Glenbrook South teammates keep the puck out of their net in the opening period through 1. Glenbrook South and Loyola tied, no score in the Blackhawk Cup championship game.
We've seen a very physical Chicago team. Look at Keith Ladner. Wrist shot. He scores! Just firing on all cylinders. What a save by Javi Muller. What a crazy half a dump in from center ice. He scores! Hawks win! Hawks win!
Max Matson and Mitsubishi are making some surprising offers. Low 1.9 APR financing on the incredible and exciting new 06 Eclipse. Lease a new 06 Galant PE for only $199 per month, or buy and get 0% for 60 months. Lease the new 06 Mitsubishi Endeavor LS for only $299 per month. Or buy and get 0% for 60 months. All driven to thrill at Max Matson Mitsubishi. For all locations or to shop online, go to maxmatson.com.
Where you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there. United. It's time to fly.
Hey, hockey parents, give your kids a summertime hockey blast with Chicago Blackhawks Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico. We offer full-day summer hockey camps for boys and girls. Veteran coaches Randy Jordan, Ray Thabar, and Bill Martin lead our charge and are joined by Hawks heroes like Troy Murray and Steve Conroy. Our camps are comprehensive, challenging, and a total blast. Great coaches make the difference, and we've got them. Call 312-226-0002 or visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com. That's Chicago Blackhawks Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico.
Welcome back to the United Center after a scoreless first period in the 2006 Blackhawk Cup Championship game. Glenbrook South and Loyola knotted up at no score. Jim Blaney along with Steve Conroy. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from a very spirited first period, Steve. We saw some good hitting, and then at the very end, some good chances by Loyola.
Well, it was physical right off the bat, and that's Chris Benz. Great open ice hit, lays out his check, and Loyola responds in kind. They really had the territorial part of the play and a couple of nice saves late in that first period by Galanis.
Josh Descent there had a good shot on goal, and then at the very end, Loyola probably generated the two best scoring chances that they had out of the entire game. As a matter of fact, as you take a look at the stats, Loyola outshooting Glenbrook South, no surprise there, and really outchancing Glenbrook South as well. Loyola with 3 prime scoring opportunities that came late in the period. And to be honest, Glenbrook South didn't spend a whole lot of time in the Loyola end.
No, they didn't. And we talked about it in the pregame, the fact that Loyola, for the most part, uses 4 lines. They roll them over. For the most part in that first period, Jim Philbin, head coach of Glenbrook South, just using the 2 lines. They're talented, but you have to start to wonder if whether or not they might start getting tired later in the game. They've got an opportunity now, though. They just spent 12 minutes in the dressing room talking over maybe they're going to change their tactics a little bit, but we'll see how they come out to start this second frame.
We mentioned at the very start that Loyola got to this game by beating New Trier Green 1-0 on a goal very late in the game, and it was the only goal of the contest. We also mentioned that it's been since 1996 since Loyola Gold has won a state championship. Well, here's the interesting part. In that game 10 years ago against New Trier Green, similar situation. The only goal of the game came very late in the contest. We take you back to 1996. Roger Lump leaves it in the corner. Schnotala came away with it for a second. Here's a backhander by Vender. Lemire made the save. Loose puck in front of the New Trier net. Pile up in front of the net. Loose puck popped in by Vender from the red line. And just 17 seconds into the game, and that was how Loyola Gold won that game on that particular day. And we talked about how Loyola Gold has been here and been here a lot, Steve, but they've also been here a lot and not gotten that final victory. And sometimes and it's not just in hockey at the high school level, it's such a big deal to get to the championship game. It's almost like sometimes teams take the assumption that, well, the work is done. We got to where we wanted to get to, and they almost forget about we have one more game to play.
Well, especially when you beat New Trier like Loyola did. They're arch rivals, so one of the top teams in all of Illinois. They beat them in the semifinal game last Monday, and you never like to think that your team might relax after a big victory like that. And as DJ LeVar pointed out after that win, guys, we still have one more game to win, and it's tonight. He didn't want them to get too nervous about it. He said prepare like it's a regular game, but bring it all and leave it on the ice.
Well, Glenbrook South, the flying under the radar refers to the fact that Usually in Illinois State High School hockey, your big three, Loyola Gold, New Trier Green, Fenwick. And Fenwick not here. They are the two-time defending state champions, so that they were knocked out of the tournament. New Trier Green bumped off in the semis. So for Glenbrook South, as they try to make that last step and win this championship, they have another one of the powerhouses, DJ LeVar's Loyola Gold team.
Yeah, and flying under the radar, Jim Philbin, head coach for Glenbrook South, talked about that's been their motto all year. You know, upsetting some of these higher seed teams to get here. And one of the moms asked if she could go out and print them on towels, print them on T-shirts, and he said, go ahead.
The Glenbrook South players and parents have really been into this appearance in the state championship game. This is a big deal to them. They've had a hard time getting over the hump. They lost in the semifinals last year. They got to the championship game, and right now I think Glenbrook South is at a spot where, you know what, keep it close, and I think eventually they're going to be able to use their speed because it's a speedy, fast team that can make things happen in a hurry. We saw a couple of times where they looked like they were going to have breaks in that opening period, but they couldn't turn them into anything. And I think we have to give a pat on the back to the Loyola defensemen, who always seem to be able to do a nice job of getting back and being ready to go.
Yeah, they did a great job of protecting their blue line. But yeah, that's got to be a key for Glenbrook South right now. Keep it close. And if they can keep it to 0-0, or at least tied after 2 periods of play, all of a sudden they start to gain a little more confidence.
Top line for Glenbrook South, Swanson, Benz, and Vargo played most of that period. And then Waldron, Girding, and Zuba got a lot of time as well. But they were the 2 lines that played most of the time. And again, you may recognize some of the nameplates on the backs of the jerseys for Glenbrook South. They had brought their yellow jerseys to them for the game, and obviously you can't both wear yellow, so Jim Philbin's team changed into the uniforms that were used in one of the prospect camps. So that's why you see the names of some guys that haven't quite made it here to Chicago yet. Jim Philbin, great job of bringing his team to the state championship game.
And how about this? An alumni and graduate of Loyola. So maybe some mixed feelings there, although we did ask him about it after that semifinal win. He says, hey, I want to beat my old school.
A lot of cross connections between these two teams. Chris Polanski, his grandfather involved in hockey at Loyola Gold for a lot of years, but yet he's playing on the Glenbrook South team. You get a really good look at Steve Galanis, who did a good job in that first period. He saw some tough shots, some tough opportunities that he had to stop, but his team in a scoreless tie as we get ready for the second period of action. The 2 top lines will come out and start this second period of play. Chris Benz wins the draw. Michael Kerr sends it into the Loyola end, and that was knocked back out to the neutral zone by Nick Kalis.
Oh.
And one of the officials goes down at the blue line, and right away Matt Jennings able to look at the situation, and Jim Philbin is going to help out as well.
First guy out there, head coach Jim Philbin. Boy, you know, I'm surprised this doesn't happen a lot more often. Unfortunately, a dump in just caught the linesman right in the face.
So we will take a break just 9 seconds into the second period. No score at the United Center in the 2006 Blackhawk Cup championship game.
Monday, spring training heats up in the Arizona desert as the Crosstown Showdown shifts to Mesa when the Cubs square off with the White Sox in a Cactus League collision. Cubs Sox Monday at 2 with a replay at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Now when you need it most. Introducing Singular Video, featuring scenes from The Sopranos and other HBO entertainment. HBO Mobile, only on Singular. Singular, raising the bar.
Friday, Central rivals collide in Hockeytown when the Blackhawks square off with the Detroit Red Wings, followed by Blackhawks Postgame Live, presented by Verizon Wireless. Blackhawks Red Wings, Friday night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Join us in our efforts to bring these children home. If you have any information on missing children pictured here, please call 1-800-THE-LOST. Canon Business Solutions, proud supporter of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggetts. Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll break down the Final Four with NIU basketball coach Rob Judson. Plus, our own Dan Plesac stops by to give us a preview of the 06 baseball season. So join us Monday at 5:30.
Linesman Jake Lawhan hit in the just above the eye with the puck, bleeding, taken off. And he was kind of chuckling about as we went off, so we hope maybe we'll even see him back. But for now, we will go with 2 officials in a scoreless game. So back underway here early in the second period. Chased down by Michael Kerr, and he's taken down by Matt Jennings, sent toward the net. Galanis makes a save, and that goes to the far side. Hesberger couldn't get it out the first time, takes a second look. He'll go off the end board. Kerr chopped at it, comes out on the stick of Joey Vargo. Throws it up to the left wing. Here's Benz. Benz is in deep angle, takes a shot, and a nice save by Today.
Well, Benz was looking for some help, and you saw him go wide and check over his shoulder, see if he had either of his wingers coming with him. They didn't, so he did the wise thing and took the shot.
So we mentioned Jake Lawhan is out getting repairs, and so Chad Green and John Dunn are on the ice, and Jake is back on the ice. So he's been fixed up. He's got the patch over his eye, and he's ready to go. Even the officials are tough in this game.
He's got to be an ex-hockey player. Give me a Band-Aid, and I'm back out there.
And I will be fine. Josh Descent keeps it in temporarily at the blue line. Sent ahead. Descent made a nice play, but then a steal at the opposite blue line. DiMaggio sent it forward. I wonder why Mike DiMaggio is not number 5. On the left wing, Sam Gutash has a look top of the ring. He fires, and a save made by Galanis, backhanded back out in front, and nobody there for Loyola. The puck cleared the length of the ice, and it will be an icing call.
Smart clearing attempt by the defenseman who was standing out front. Galanis, the busier of the 2 netminders, and he's starting to see it again. Shot in front, rebound there, and it almost banked in, caromed in off of Galanis. Should point out that Steve Galanis scored a 35 on his ACT, Jim Blaney.
Yeah, just like I did.
Except he's put in to go to either Yale, Harvard, Brown, or UIC.
Except it took me 2 tries to score that high. Ringed around to the near side by Michael McCurr, but not out. And so now Loyola will have to make a second attempt at trying to clear their own zone, sent out in front, and that's picked up by Mike Jacinto. He had to play it back in his own end. McCurr now carries it out over his own blue line. Dumps it into the Glenbrook South end, and he was short of center, so it'll be an icing call.
I mentioned Galanis and his great marks in high school. Also played football. In fact, was injured in football this year and probably should have had shoulder surgery, but he wanted to play hockey, so he said, listen, let's go under the knife in April. And wise decision now, because he's played through pain all year long, but he has played very, very well for this Glenbrook South team.
Face-off is just to the left of Today. Shot that came from the point. That didn't get through. And now a loose puck along the near boards. Chopped out of there by Girding. Now it rolls in behind the net. Terry Feldheim goes up the far wall. Took a bit of a funny bounce, but it's picked up at center ice and moved forward by the Ramblers. Shot from the far side. That one goes to the near side and wide. Descent able to hold it in. And then chopped around to the side behind the boards. Zuba, and we are going to have our first penalty of the game, and it's going to be a tripping call.
Yeah, kind of a needless penalty there by Mark Higley. It was a forecheck by Affinati, who's a tenacious forechecker, but he decided not to hit Higley. And as he skated by, Higley sticks out the stick. More of a mental error than anything else. Now what's Affinati skating in? Well, that actually was not the penalty, because it's Glenbrook South who gets the penalty. Loyola on the power play.
So the first power play of the game comes with 11:43 remaining in the second period and no score. Ringed around to the near side. Held in by Josh Descent. Puts it into the corner. See Aaron O'Callahan trying to make his way to the front of the net. Descent sends it across. Gutash takes a look. Now Descent. Far side to Jennings. Gutash, deep slot, looks, fires. That one was blocked in front and didn't get through. Jennings throws it in behind. Jacinto takes a look at it, couldn't come up with it. Benz chopped it ahead, didn't get it out. Jennings, top of the ring, takes a look, flips it ahead, and it just bounced over to Sent's stick.
See Aaron O'Callahan out in front of the net. He's 6'2", only 165 pounds, but he's one of the tallest guys on this Loyola team.
And here comes a little bit of the speed of Glenbrook South as they break it out ahead, but can't mount a challenge out of it as Hesburgh gave up the puck. Now going the other way, Descent had it knocked away. And Loyola's going to have to regroup a little bit and carrying it onside. Jennings takes a look, flips it toward the net. Golan is able to make the save. Comes out the other side, bends, goes off the boards and out. And look out, maybe a chance for Joey Vargo from a tough angle. Nice save by Today.
Well, Vargo's a threat whenever he's on the ice because of his speed. And even though he was a couple of strides behind the defender, he still got to that puck first.
Gutash puts on the brakes, loses his footing, and that one able to clear back out. Puck hit the linesman, turns into an advantage. Here comes Jake Waldron. Waldron tries to drag it forward and pull it toward the net, and he was taken out nicely by a combination of Terry Feldman and Rob Johnson.
And Johnson doing a good job to come back. It was a 2-on-1 momentarily, but Johnson with his speed got back quick enough, became a 2-on-2.
Feldheim, long pass, misses the target. Dane Swanson takes his time, puts it back out to the neutral zone. 11 seconds remaining on the Glenbrook South penalty. Shot, that one was a little knuckler. That was not an easy chance to handle, but Galanis makes a nice save, and he'll hold on with 5 seconds remaining on the Loyola power play.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is give up a rebound, especially when you're shorthanded. That means there's an extra attacker out there, and you're going to be outmanned in front of the net. Down the other end, shorthanded. Good job by Joey Vargo.
.938 remaining in the period in a scoreless championship game. Draw controlled by Glenbrook South. They'll clear it down to the Loyola end, and that will do it for the penalty. And Mark Higley able to come out of the box. So now we're back at even strength. .12-5, the shots on goal. Loyola dominating the game offensively, but not able to cash in on the power play opportunity. Michael Kerr carries it ahead, flips it in deep to the Loyola zone. Chopped out ahead to the near side. Andrew McLean, as the fourth line for Loyola, is on the ice. Back out to the neutral zone where Glenbrook South will try and regroup. Hesburgh plays it across for Higley, his partner. Higley will send it in. Another bouncing puck and a nice stop by Today. Boy, those are the kind that can eat you up if you're not careful.
Oh, absolutely, and Today has not had a lot of action, so probably cold back there.
And Today is going to cover that one up, and he will take the whistle. 8:42 remaining in the second period of play. Tempers flaring a little bit. It's tight and it's tense. No score in the Blackhawk Cup championship game.
In leadership, no word is more important than trust. You can trust Chevy, the brand more Americans choose.
See why during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event, like Silverado half-ton work truck with better half-ton fuel economy than Ford F-150. Get a 2006 Silverado half-ton regular cab two-wheel drive work truck starting at $16,715. Or get it for less during the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Thousands of Chicagoans already know the secret to beautiful new carpet. Luna. We both work.
So they worked around our schedule.
The Luna expert really knew his stuff. He was so helpful. If 5-star were the best, I'd give him a 6.
The whole process was so quick and easy.
Our new carpet looks great. I can't wait to show all my friends.
And with Luna's 2-for-1 sale, we saved a ton of money. Call Luna now and see what you've been missing.
773-202 Luna.
This is our marathon station. We own it. We run it, and, you know, we're proud to be part of this community.
My name's on the door, so everything's got to be right. I mean, these people know me, and I want to take care of them.
When you're an independent dealer, your reputation's on the line every day.
But it's not just about running a business for us. It's about being a part of a community that we care about.
We know what our customers want because we know our customers.
Helping friends and neighbors, that's the spirit of America. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Tomorrow, the Sox are on Comcast Sportsnet. It's another clash in the Cactus League as the Southsiders square off with the Kansas City Royals in Tucson. White Sox Royals tomorrow at 2 with a replay at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Back at the United Center in a scoreless championship game of the 2006 Blackhawk Cup. Face-off coming to the left of Alex today. Loose puck, chopped at by Higley, and he drove it just wide. And Loyola able to clear.
Right off the draw, the sea kind of parted for Glenbrook South, and Higley with a prime opportunity. The puck was on end when he shot it.
Now an opportunity coming the other way. Stevens is in, and he was taken out nicely. DeCent is playing a fantastic game on defense so far. Comes up with a puck, trying to chop it free. Back in behind the net again for Stevens. Tried to roll it back to the point, didn't get there. And then it's pulled off the far boards by Biasco, and he'll just send it through the neutral zone. And Hesperger will go and track it down. Back pass ends up on the stick of Marisi. He drives it wide. And nothing more out of that. Stevens, he'll bring it ahead. Glenbrook South due for a change. Stevens trying to drop it off. Took a hit in the slot, and then that pass was taken away. Jacinto throws it ahead on the left wing. Johnson couldn't track the puck down, and now Loyola does get their change. Long outlet pass. Remember, there is no center red line, by the way, in high school hockey. So you have automatic icings and no center red line. Nearly a giveaway, almost put right onto the stick of Joey Vargo. And Loyola having fits right now, moving the puck out of their own end.
And all of a sudden, it's Glenbrook South who's starting to gain an advantage territorially. Almost a costly giveaway right in front of Loyola net. There's Glenbrook South. Obviously, whatever Jim Philbin had to say to his troops between periods been working. They've come out with a lot more authority in period number 2.
Jennings nearly a steal, and instead it's Benz, who is stood up nicely right at the blue line by Nick Kalis. Michael McCurr has it, drives it off the boards and back out into the neutral zone, where it's picked up by Michael Kerr. Jennings over to the right wing, past Sikowski, was looking for Johnson, and it just hopped off his stick at the last moment. Jennings has it again, try to drag it back, put it into the corner. Benz with the hit. Jennings will poke it ahead. Around the end boards, and DiMaggio tried to chop it free, didn't get much on it. Loose puck just lying there for Johnson. Makes a nice move, but maybe a little bit too much of a move. It hops over the blue line, and Loyola will have to regroup with 6:49 remaining in the second period. Jennings moves it ahead, makes a move. Jennings trying to drag it to the front of the net, couldn't get it there, now goes into the corner. Drop pass for Sikowski, and now Jennings had it taken away by Benz. Benz doing some nice work getting back on defense.
Look out.
Here's a break. Swanson is in. Pulls the trigger and scores.
Dane Swanson, the captain of this Glenbrook South team, great patience. And that's something we noticed in that game last Monday, the semifinal game. He's got great poise with the puck, hung on to it, and just put enough on this shot to get it through the legs of today. Nice stand-up by the defenseman there for Loyola, but that allows the partial break. And look at Swanson hanging on, protecting the puck, and somehow trickling it through the legs of today.
An outstanding effort by Swanson, and it was a result really of some great work by Chris Benz back in his own end to keep the play alive. A huge goal, because I really think, Steve, that Glenbrook South has to get a lead somewhere before the end of this period to really have a chance, because then maybe you can get Loyola to shorten their bench.
Well, they have been, we just mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, territorially they've been had the advantage over Loyola. Now if they can just gain some momentum from that goal, I'll tell you what, they could really help their cause with another one here.
Girding rolls it ahead today. He'll just hang on to that one and take the face-off with 5:52 remaining in the second period. But a big juncture of the game right here for both clubs, because Glenbrook South obviously now has a little bit of hop to them, and Loyola, I think, a little bit stunned, because they have controlled the play in this game, out shooting Glenbrook South 12-9.
Well, that's the great thing about hockey. You know, it doesn't matter who's dominating, it's what's on the scoreboard, and all of a sudden, Glenbrook South feels like they're on top of the world.
Moved ahead, Biasco has it, takes a look, he fires. Galanis had it in his glove, couldn't hang on. Loose puck right in the slot, and it's cleared out. Now a chance for Glenbrook South to counter with speed. Was carried ahead by Chris Polanski. Has speed to burn. Now Biasco comes the other way. Has Jacinto with him, and instead ringed around by Kerr. Out to the far side. Chopped at by Polanski, back to the Loyola blue line. Moving ahead for Loyola is Michael McCurr. And now Glenbrook South playing some good defense in their own end, just standing up and throwing it back into the neutral zone. Michael Kerr rings it around to the far side. Belansky had it roll under his stick. Here's Jennings' shot. That didn't get through.
So often happens. You have to change your game a little bit when you fall behind. And right now, Loyola behind, so they're pressing.
Sikowski has it on his stick. He fires. Galanis didn't know that he still had it. Had it knocked away, but it went into the corner. Along the near board, Jennings taken down, no call. Descent retreats into his own end. 4:40 remaining in the second period. Jennings at the Glenbrook South line. Sikowski had it on his stick. Penalty coming up on Glenbrook South. Today is out of the net. The puck will go all the way back to the Loyola end. They'll have plenty of time to get the extra attacker on.
That'll be 6-on-5 now. Of course, they pull their goalie. They don't have to worry about turning over the puck. As soon as they do, the whistle goes.
And they turn it over, and we will get the penalty call. So second power play of the game, it's going to be a hooking call. We'll take a timeout. 4:17 to go in the second period. Glenbrook South leads at 1-0, but Loyola going to the power play when we come back.
Appreciated worldwide, the LR3 by Land Rover.
Where you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there. United. It's time to fly.
Chicago sports fans, go to ComcastSportsNet.com for game times, sports schedules, breaking news, nightly show guest lineups, and daily topics. It's where you get to weigh in live. Get your game online at ComcastSportsNet.com.
Jim Blaney along with Steve Conroy at the United Center, the Blackhawk Cup championship game for 2006. Glenbrook South leading Loyola 1-0, and I'm not bold enough to say this is the critical juncture of the game, but I do think it's the critical juncture of the period with Loyola going on the power play.
Well, they moved it around very well last time they had a power play, but they never got any clean shots. Let's see if they can accomplish that with power play number 2.
Gutash will roll it in. Cleared up by Hesberger, loose puck. That one didn't get out. Loyola a chance to set up. Descent takes a look, slides it across. Jennings wanted the one-timer, wrist shot, and that goes wide. Back out to the near point. Descent has some time, goes deep slot. Gutash slides it over for Jennings. He shoots and he scores. What a goal by Matt Jennings!
Matt Jennings, who always seems to make something happen when the puck's on his stick. Great shot coming off the boards, and Aaron Johnson might not get an assist on it, provides a perfect screen. 6'2", number 2 right in front of the net. Galanis didn't see it until it was by him. And Jennings, well, he can dangle with this puck. Just a quick release. I think he realized he had the screen set up and O'Callahan standing in front, and that's how he beats the goaltender.
They ran the same setup twice. The first time Jennings was looking for the one-timer, it wasn't there. The Ramblers were very patient, got the second opportunity, and Jennings buried it, and we're tied at 1 with 3:32 remaining in the second period. So the momentum that Glenbrook South gained by getting the opening goal of the game, Loyola gets it right back, and today is able to hold on to the puck, and he will take a whistle and a face-off in his own end.
Well, Matt Jennings has had a strong game so far. We should point out it was Jennings who drew the penalty. Glenbrook South, the high stick on Matt Jennings, so not only does he draw the penalty, he scores the power play goal to tie it at 1.
It was Jennings who had a clean breakaway early in the semifinal game, missed an opportunity, and Loyola scored late and did get to the championship. So 20th goal of the year for Jennings, and it ties it up at 1-1. Should be a spirited 3 minutes of hockey now until the period is over. Jake Waldron took a hit. Picars, turnover, shot, and that was a big stop by Today. Back out for Picars, and it gets back out into the neutral zone, so everybody will have to clear now. Affinati chopped at it, went back into the Glenbrook South end. The hitting is really starting to pick up here. Both teams sensing that a goal before this period ends would be huge.
You know what I like about it, though? Nothing chippy. Yeah, they're hard hits, and guys are getting rattled, knocked down, but you don't see the sticks coming up that much, and nothing mean-spirited or dirty.
Affinati comes ahead. He looks. He puts it in front, and he was looking for the tip-in off the stick of Johnson. Didn't get it. Now Glenbrook South trying to counter the other way. They'll have to regroup.
That was a nice kick save by Galanis because he realized there was traffic in front, kicked out that right leg, and put that rebound right over to the boards.
2:18 remaining in the period. Loyola will go for a change as they dump it in. Getting there first is Hesberger. And now Higley will come into the corner to try and help out and try and clear it out of the Glenbrook South end. They don't do it. Sikowski to Jennings. High shot. That was a shoulder save by Galanis. Bouncing puck. Jennings just throws it back into the corner. Higley had his stick tied up, couldn't get rid of it. Johnson along the goal line, couldn't move it to his forehand. Throws it out in front. Jennings shoots, then Sikowski gets the rebound, and Galanis with a nice glove save in traffic.
Now, number one line for Loyola. They're certainly building on the momentum from that goal from Jennings, and again control the puck down deep. Some nice shots on Galanis, and nice little glove save there to make sure he gets the whistle.
Sikowski was very calm with the puck right there. Just took his time and got off a good opportunity. Behind the net, DiMaggio. And DiMaggio is tied up with Johnson. Ben's in there, tied up with Jennings. Jennings trying to move it ahead. Benz goes high off the glass, but not out. Kept in by Descent. His shot was picked off. Look out here. And Descent, well, in the NHL, that would have been interference. But high school hockey, it's a good play as Descent lost the handle on the puck, but put a hit on his man, and we'll have a face-off.
You know what the difference with high school hockey is too, Jim? These guys stand all the time, and in the NHL, most of the time, guys get to the bench, they sit down, they want to rest and relax, but not these youngsters. Say 75 to 80% of the bench standing, anticipating.
Jennings has it again, puts on the brakes, sent toward the net. Biasco with a shot, hopped off the stick. Jacinto sends it back to the point. Shot, that one was stopped by Glass. Rebound, it hit the post, it did not go in.
I thought that was in.
Clear signal from the official that it did not go in. Benz carries it ahead, turned it over at the blue line. Jacinto.
They will not have video replay either.
But
we will.
We'll get a look at it. Benz fires it toward the net, looking for the tip. He didn't get it. Joey Vargo had his stick on the ice and redirected it, but redirected it just wide. In the final minute of the period right now, Aaron O'Callahan takes a look off the end boards. Puck bounces free. Maybe a wraparound. Benz heads towards the front of the net. Shot from the point by DiMaggio. That didn't get through. And Callahan able to put it out to center ice. Loyola needs a change right here with 34 seconds to go. Rolled in behind the net. Kalis comes up with it. The Ramblers got their change. Back out to center ice. Kerr puts it back into the Loyola end. McCurr had a roll off his stick. Didn't get it out. And now a little bit of a scrum at the blue line as both teams have to regroup. 17 seconds remaining. On a backhander, chop back to the Glenbrook end. DiMaggio went down but sent it up the wall. Zuba did not get it out. 6 seconds remaining. DiMaggio tries it again. That was kept in by Jennings. DiMaggio one more time, and that will do it for the period. So a very spirited second period of play. Both teams cashing in. Dane Swanson got the scoring started to give Glenbrook South a 1-0 lead, but on the power play, Matt Jennings with his 21st goal of the year, and at the end of 2 periods of play in the 2006 Blackhawk Cup Championship game, Glenbrook South and Loyola Gold all tied up at 1.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Relax, it's just our shower of savings at Schaumburg Honda Automobiles. Right now, get super spring savings on more than 1,000 new Hondas available every day, including an Accord SC for only $239 a month.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
You owe it to yourself to see us at the Midwest's largest volume Honda dealer. That's Bob Rohrman Schaumburg Honda Automobiles, just 8 blocks west of Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road.
Bell over the line, cutting to the net. He shoots, he scores! Shoots, he scores! Here comes Bell over the line, kicks up, he scores! Hawks win! Hawks
win! Witness a transformation. Sony SXRD technology delivers 2 million pixels of red, green, and blue. Twice the pixels of HD as we know it. But that's what makes the new Grand Vega SXRD a Sony. The world's greatest high-definition television. Make it yours at sony.com/HDTV.
Sony.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, Bill stays in a Business King room.
Look at the space.
And feels like a Business King himself.
Multitasking. Chances of me working are remote.
Don't miss the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggets. Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll break down the Final Four with NIU basketball coach Rob Judson. Plus, our own Dan Plesac stops by to give us a preview of the 06 baseball season. So join us Monday at 5:30.
Last season, 88 years of frustration ended, and memories were made to last a lifetime. Now, the world champion White Sox return with new pieces in place, ready to defend their crown. And the champs play here. 99 regular season games, and everything that makes it more than a game. The quest to repeat begins this April on Comcast Sportsnet, the capital of baseball.
Welcome back to the United Center, getting ready for period number 3 of this 2006 Blackhawk Cup championship game. Glenbrook South and Loyola all tied up at 1-1. Jim Blaney along with Steve Conroy. And, well, Steve, Glenbrook South still not getting the better of the action, being outshot in the game 22-11, but where it counts the most, dead even, and Glenbrook South, they were the guys who got the first goal of the game.
Yeah, they really turned it around because they were dominated in period number 1. Period 2, I don't know what Jim Philbin told them, but they came out with a different attitude. And although they're getting checked here, they started putting pucks at the net. There you see Galanis with a couple of nice saves. Down at the other end today was matching them. But here's the goal. And watch Swanson protect the puck. Using his body as a shield, somehow slips it by today. And boy, that gave them a lot of momentum. They led 1-0 at this point. But then it was Glenbrook South took the penalty. Loyola on the power play. And Matt Jennings, what a game he has had so far. Put it by, and then a close call right at the end. I thought it was a goal. Great call by the referee. You saw it clearly go off the crossbar.
Yeah, Chad Green was right in position, was emphatic about the call. The replay supports that was not a goal. Loyola doubling up on shots on goal. Glenbrook South yet to go on the power play, but we're dead even as we get ready for period number 3. Of course, a lot of things going on here at the United Center this time of year, with the Bulls playing, the Blackhawks playing in the Blackhawk Cup. And obviously, as soon as the Bulls get playing and you have to get ready for hockey right away, well, there's a lot of work that goes into that. And it doesn't go quite this quick, Steve, but it's still pretty fascinating to watch.
It's unbelievable, really, when you think about it, the amount of man hours that are put into this. And they make it look pretty easy right there.
The part that's most amazing, if you watch the very start of that little clip, you saw fans still in the stands. They start turning it over almost as soon as the horn goes off to end the game.
Well, the amazing thing, too, is the quality of the ice here at the United Center, and it certainly doesn't suffer because you have 2 sports going on. And that's something you hear not only from the Blackhawks, but a lot of teams that travel in here. The ice is outstanding.
Yeah, a lot of buildings around the NHL have some problems in that regard, but this certainly is not one of them. Get a good look at Joey Affinati, who's done some nice work along the end boards for Loyola in this game. He and his Rambler teammates trying to win their first Blackhawk Cup title in 10 years.
As Affinati, if we could mention, drew the penalty that led to the power play with Jennings scoring on it.
So if you operate on the theory that power plays tend to even out over the course of a game, you would certainly expect that Glenbrook South is going to get their chance.
Wouldn't surprise me if they got an opportunity on the power play.
Been a very physical game, Steve, and the physicality in this contest has picked up as we have gone along, but the goaltenders have been very, very good in this game so far.
Well, they have, and you know what? The defense in front of him been very good also. Galanis has made the stops. He's allowed some rebounds, but for the most part, his defensemen have been able to clear that puck. That, the Jennings power play goal, which got them back into it. So there's Jim Philbin up on the top of the bench there talking to his team. Whatever he said last period seemed to work, and Glenbrook South, boy.
I thought Chris Benz with that hit you saw at the start of this reel, I think that really set the tone for the entire game. Your number one center goes out there and lays out a big hit early. And then with the exception of the one goal, Galanis has been outstanding on the other end. And it was that goal that was scored by Dane Swanson that really got started because of some good work by Joey Vargo, who you see right there, and Chris Benz in the defensive end of the ice.
Well, that number one line really supplying most of the offense all year long for Jim Philbin and this Glenbrook South team. As I mentioned, that semifinal game last Monday, it was the third line for Glenbrook South that got them going. So I'm sure they'd love to see some contributions from wherever they can get them.
1-1 as we start the third period. The number one lines and the top defensive pairs are back out there again for both teams as we begin this third period. Hesperger along the near boards sends it back out to the neutral zone. Skating back to get it is Michael McCurr. Moves it up the left side. Jennings sends it across ice, and then it's just dumped right back in by Dane Swanson. McCurr up the near board. Jennings kicked it free. That one was picked off by Glenbrook South. And Loyola having a really hard time getting out of their own zone right now. Hesperger able to keep it in. Comes back. McCurr swings around to the far side. Jennings has it. He'll carry it in deeper. Bit of a dangerous play by Jennings, but he's a big guy who handles the puck well. Now he gets up ahead of steam. Jennings over the blue line, tries to split the defense, and that one's shoveled by Galanis out to the near boards.
Great defensive play by the defenseman Higley, just not watching the puck with Jennings, and that's what you can get mesmerized with, but he watched the body and took him out perfectly.
And an offside call, so that will give both teams a chance to change their lines after 58 seconds of play in the third period.
Well, that's not Bickle, that's Joey Vargo, and he's one of the fastest guys on this Glenbrook South team. And we mentioned Dane Swanson, the guy who scored that goal. Almost looks like he's not wearing shoulder pads out there. He's not a real big guy, but he must have very thin shoulder pads.
And the second line out there now is Waldron had it for a moment. Girding had it roll off his stick. Here come the Ramblers. Affinati moves ahead, had it roll off his stick. And now a counter by Glenbrook South, although it's 2-on-3, so they're going to have to dump it in and wait for some help. Cross ice for Josh Descent. Turned over at center ice to Maggio. And now it's loose and lying free. This is Gutash. Gutash has Picars with him and couldn't get the pass through. Back to the point. Shot. That one was stopped out in front of rebound, and there was a good save made by Galanis. Chop back out to center ice. And carried in offside, so we'll get a whistle. And joining us, as he always does during the Blackhawk Cup, is J.J. O'Connor. And J.J. is very, very busy in the Chicagoland area with both A-High and also with the sled hockey program. And J.J., how you been? Well, they don't have him mic'd up yet, so we'll get back to JJ in a second.
Tell you what, he looks great.
One of the busiest men in amateur hockey. 12:05 remaining here in the third period. Carried out by Aaron O'Callahan, had a roll off his stick. McCurr put it out to the neutral zone. O'Callahan had it again for a moment. Jacinto sends it back to the Glenbrook South line. You know, Glenbrook South almost looks like right now they're in sort of a counter-punching mode, Steve. And they've generated a couple of chances of us. That one hit the side of the net.
I think they realize, too, that they can capitalize on mistakes. You just have to wait for them. Sometimes if you're pressing too much, you're going to be making the mistakes. You're just trying to get the puck in and see if Loyola opens up a little bit.
And again, Glenbrook South will just send it down deep and get a line change and keep fresh people on. And now it's Loyola that's due for a change as O'Callahan will go off to the bench. Back out to the neutral zone where it's picked off. In is Johnson. He shoots backhander and a big save by Steven Galanis. 11-11 remaining in the second period. And JJ, all set to go back there? JJ O'Connor joining us. JJ, just tell us what you've been up to lately.
Well, I actually just got back from Italy. I was there supporting the U.S. sled hockey team.
Went to Torino, which the Paralympics were held right after the Olympic Games. We'll get back to JJ in a second along the near side. Cleared back toward the point, but not out. And the scrum along the boards results in Loyola having to backtrack to their own blue line to take possession. Sent ahead for Jennings, couldn't control the puck. A lot of this period so far has been played in the neutral zone.
It's been a real chess match, although there was a turnover to Jennings the prior shift. Not the guy you want to turn the puck over to either. And saved by Galanis.
Well, interesting too, Steve. The top line for Loyola is now getting a lot of ice time, and a big hit at center ice put on by Sam Gutash. Behind the Loyola net. And the Ramblers, who really controlled, you know, I guess you would call it time of possession and field position in this game, for lack of a better term. Now all of a sudden they're spending a lot of time in their own end and having a hard time moving the puck out. Clint Davis at his own blue line. Sends it back to the Loyola line. Terry Feldheim sends it cross ice. Picars moves it ahead. Got it to Gutash. Gutash deep slot. Tried to make a move. Lost the puck. Carried ahead. Affinati was looking for an opportunity. Couldn't pull the trigger. 9:51 remaining. Loose puck in the Glenbrook South end. Moved ahead. Nearly a chance for a break, but Trevor Stevens couldn't move the puck forward, and we get a little pushing and shoving going on in front of the Loyola bench. We'll take a break. 9:37 remaining in period number 3 in a 1-1 game in the 2006 Blackhawk Cup.
Hey, hockey parents, give your kids a summertime hockey blast with Chicago Blackhawk Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico. We offer full-day summer hockey camps for boys and girls. Veteran coaches Randy Jordan, Ray Thabar, and Bill Martin lead our charge and are joined by Hawks heroes like Troy Murray and Steve Conroy. Our camps are comprehensive, challenging, and a total blast. Great coaches make the difference, and we've got them. Call 312-226-0002 or visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com. That's Chicago Blackhawks Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico.
The male desert tortoise is likely the slowest of
The internet doesn't have to be slow. Music, photos, everything downloads way faster than DSL with Comcast high-speed internet. It's Comcastic.
Are you struggling to make your payments in a debt management program? Did you try credit counseling and it just didn't work? No wonder. The average credit counseling program takes 5 to 7 years to complete and 85% fail.
Don't continue to struggle. As America's largest bankruptcy law firm, we can guarantee you a lower monthly payment or even completely eliminate your bills. Let us offer you a real solution.
Call 1-888-7-HELP-US. That's 888-7-HELP-US for a free consultation.
When the game is over, stay tuned for Blackhawks Postgame Live, presented by Verizon Wireless. You'll get a complete breakdown of all the action from Steve Conroy and Jim Blaney. Blackhawks Postgame Live, presented by Verizon Wireless, after the Hawks game on Comcast Sportsnet.
We are back at the United Center. Jim Blaney along with Steve Conroy, and we're joined by JJ O'Connor. JJ, when you were over in Italy, you were coaching, playing? What were you doing over there?
Well, I'm the chairperson in the disabled section for USA Hockey. So I'm kind of there just helping to organize, administer, and support the team.
Tell us, how did the U.S. team do over there?
We won the bronze.
All right.
We won the bronze. 2002, we won the gold, so it took a little step backwards, I think, but our team was the youngest team there, and the future looks very bright.
So in other words, you're in a bit of a rebuilding phase.
I guess you could say that, but the team's really talented. Like I said, they're awfully young, so the future is very bright. We were really hoping that we would come away with the gold, but I think the players and coaches are happy with the bronze.
But what kind of involvement do the Loyola alums have with the Loyola Gold program? Because there's been, and you being an alum yourself, this school has had so much success in hockey, and so many of the guys are still around coaching, and it's almost like a University of Miami football type of situation.
Yeah, I think there's quite a bit of dedication. When you go to Loyola, it just seems that you become part of a family. And so with that being said, I think a lot of the alums come back and support the team throughout the year, not just here down at the United Center, but throughout the year. So, of course, coming from Loyola, I really have to be partial and root for my alma mater. Go Loyola Ramblers.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that. JJ, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the Blackhawk organization for putting on a great day. This is great for the kids and great for youth hockey.
All right, keep up the good work, JJ, and keep up the great effort, and thank you so much. JJ talking about alums being here. Pat Foley, Loyola class of, let's see, it would be 1996, which would make him 29 years old in attendance today. He also a Loyola alum. 8:26 remaining in the third period, tied up at 1. Glenbrook South trying to move the puck ahead, and that bounced under the stick of Joey Vargo and results in an offside call.
Yeah, for the most part, over the first two periods, we saw smooth hockey, and this has gotten a lot choppier, a lot more whistles, and as you mentioned, Jim, play between the blue lines. Maybe it's the fact that both these teams realize there's only about 8 minutes and 19 seconds left in their season. That's barring any overtime, so maybe nerves starting to play a little part of this third frame.
Since you said it and I didn't, the extra periods are a little bit different in high school hockey in that you play actual overtime. It's not sudden death. You play mini periods, 7-minute periods, and then you have to have a winner after the period. So that, in case you're wondering what happens if we stay at 1. Center ice, Jennings moves it ahead. Johnson to Sikowski, shot, and that one goes over the top of the net. Did not go off the netting, so it's still in play. Dug off the end boards by Michael McCurr. Jennings has to hold it in tight to let McCurr get back to his point, and then it's turned over. Suba moves the other way, and he'll go off for a change.
That was an odd man rush by Loyola, and a good job by Glenbrook South to get back and just make sure they deflected that shot.
7:35 remaining, and we'll get wholesale line changes after this chance and a little bit of a wrestling match at center ice. Draw one by Glenbrook South. They put it along the near boards and put it out to neutral ice. And the Glenbrook South, they have been very disciplined in the game they're playing now, Steve. They get it out of their own zone. They chop it out, and they counter only when they have numbers.
Well, especially in championship games that are tight, you just got to wait for your chances. You can't try to open things up, manufacture things that aren't there. And they're just making the safe plays right now, and that's smart. The only mistake they made early in this period, they gave it over to Matt Jennings, a turnover just inside their blue line, and he almost made them pay. But for the most part, textbook hockey here for Glenbrook South in the third.
Top line is on right now for Glenbrook South, and that one will be covered up and held on to by Steve Galanis.
A little bit of chippiness there. We saw Galanis had it covered up. The forward for Loyola came in, gave him a bit of a poke. The defenseman didn't like it.
And now DJ LeVar is going to make some changes in the lineup that he has on the ice. And, well, he sends his third line out there. So, well, he's mixing and matching a little bit now. He has Gutash, Jacinto, and Biasco out there. Rolled around to the far side. Vargo not able to chop it out. Sent back in deep. Vargo will take a second crack at it, off the glass and out. Loyola will track it down, and Benz will go in on the forecheck. 6:54 remaining in the third. Gutash moves it into the Glenbrook South end. He took a hit, was bumped off. Biasco couldn't come up with it. And Benz had it taken away at center ice. Biasco kicks it back into his own end. He goes down. No call. Loose puck. Centering pass, but nobody there for Glenbrook South. Now Loyola counters. Terry Feldheim on the left wing. Biasco back to Feldheim. Pass was in his skates, couldn't do anything with it. Gutash loads up and fires. That one didn't get through. Jacinto goes to chase it down in the corner. McCurr able to hold it in for the moment. 6:12 remaining in the period. Gutash bumped off the puck and off the glass and out. What Glenbrook South is doing, clearing it out, and they send a forward down to be aggressive on the forecheck. Kalis out to center ice. Hesberger got it to Zuba, lost a tire, got back up. Zuba carries in, drops it off. That shot goes wide. Jake Waldron able to pull the trigger. Hesberger throws it across the front of the net, comes back out the other side. Jennings picks it up in his own end. He had an end-to-end rush earlier, and this time Glenbrook South much more aggressive in playing against him. So we come up on the 5.5-minute mark of time remaining here in the third period.
Almost gets to the point where you can't respect a guy too much, because when you respect him too much, you back off, and when you back off, you give him time and space. That's exactly what Jennings wants.
Waldron chases it down, but today will cover it up and hold on to it with 5:19 remaining, and the shots continue to stay lopsided. Loyola with 27 shots, only 12 for Glenbrook South.
Get a good close-up of today. The bigger the two goalies, Galanis down at the other end, who's been the busier of the two goalies. You mentioned the shot differentials, 2-1 now in favor of Loyola, 27-12 the actual shots.
Face off to the left of today, and controlled for the moment by Loyola, as Andrew McLean in the fourth line getting a little bit of ice time here. Moved ahead by Marizzi in behind the net. Hesberger couldn't track it down. Glenbrook South off the glass and out. They've been very, very good at getting it high and out, which a lot of high schoolers, they just bang, you bang it off the boards, it doesn't go out. Off the glass, it'll usually get out of there for you.
Yeah, and what it does too, it'll soften it up so it doesn't go for the icing. That time it did.
4:56 remaining in period number 3. We're still tied at 1 in the 2006 Blackhawk Cup.
Thanks for the coffee.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Chicago has a new Toyota dealer, Chicago Northside Toyota. With over 1,000 vehicles available, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Searching for a fuel-efficient car at a great price? You found it. Toyota Corolla just $13,895. RAV4 $17,795. Highlander $22,595. Order your Prius today and enjoy 60 miles per gallon. Chicago Northside Toyota, minutes away on Broadway. View the entire selection at chicagotoyota.com.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggins. Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll break down the Final Four with NIU basketball coach Rob Judson. Plus, our own Dan Plesac stops by to give us a preview of the 06 baseball season. So join us Monday at 5:30.
Tomorrow, the Sox are on Comcast Sportsnet. It's another clash in the Cactus League as the Southsiders square off with the Kansas City Royals in Tucson. White Sox Royals tomorrow at 2 with a replay at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, Bill stays in a business king room.
Look at the space.
And feels like a business king himself.
Multitasking. Chances of me working are remote.
Don't miss the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Chicago sports fans, go to ComcastSportsNet.com for game times, sports schedules, breaking news, nightly show guest lineups, and daily topics. It's where you get to weigh in live. Get your game online at ComcastSportsNet.com.
4:56 remaining in regulation. Face-off will come to the left of Steve Galanis. Ben Picar's out to take the draw for Loyola, but Hesberger comes up with the puck for Glenbrook South. Teams are going to have to be very, very careful in their own end because you get the feeling there's only going to be one more goal. Mark Higley goes low and out this time, and Loyola has had the puck most of the time, and they fire it into their own bench, so there will be a face-off on the Loyola half of the ice, which we haven't seen much of the last few minutes. It's mostly been down in the Glenbrook South end.
Yeah, you can see how clean the ice is down in Loyola's end. And Glenbrook South still looking for their first power play.
Girding, Waldron, and Zuba out there for Glenbrook South. And the top line is out there for Loyola. Although Jennings is not out there with this group. A lot of action over there on the Loyola bench as they all have to duck and cover again. And now Jennings comes out. But right now they have one too many guys. All right, we're all set to go. Face-off control by Terry Feldheim. Goes behind his own net. Josh Descent. Descent took a hit from Waldron. Now in behind the net. Rolled to the far side. Feldheim takes a look. Goes up the middle of the ice. But put his pass just a little bit behind Picars, and it goes the length for icing.
You gotta love the youthful enthusiasm from both of these teams, and I had an opportunity to talk with some of the players from Glenbrook South as they came into the United Center. Coach Jim Philbin had them walk around the United Center just to clear the cobwebs, but they were amazed at how nice this building was, and they talked about the mahogany locker rooms, each of the stalls that they were sitting in were made out of wood. I don't think they're mahogany, but they liked it.
Shot and a stop by today, and we are now in the mode where every shot potentially is the game winner, and Ben's a little bit slow getting up behind the Loyola net.
And funny, we had very few whistles the first couple of periods. A turnaround shot, and Benz gets cleared by the defenseman, falls awkwardly into the boards. And right now, not a lot of flow to this hockey game.
No, not at all. Although it's nice to see the kid in the banana suit is here. You see, he's at the very top of your screen, about 3/4 of the way over.
Yeah.
Left to right. You just see him sitting up there. He is.
There's the banana man.
Now he's happy. He made the Jumbotron.
One proud banana.
Face-off coming up to the left of Alex today. 4:13 remaining. 10 years ago, when Loyola won the championship, Bill Lusso scored with 2 minutes remaining, and they beat New Trier Green. And Loyola able to put it out in the neutral zone. Davis chopped it ahead. Girding throws it forward, and it's controlled by McCurr. Long pass stolen, and Glenbrook South will just dump it right back in. McCurr comes up with it. Comes to the near side, didn't get it out, and now it goes back to center ice, where Michael Kerr will go get it, puts it out to the neutral zone. Somebody lost their bat. And thrown back into the Glenbrook South end by Mike Jacinto. You know, I think right now, Steve, whoever gets aggressive might get a chance. O'Callahan centers, and that one didn't get through. He was looking for Biasco. Kept in shot. Biasco was on the doorstep, couldn't tip it in.
Best chance we've seen in a long time.
O'Callahan on the end board, centering pass. Jacinto couldn't get it loaded up. Right now, Glenbrook South is trying to find the handle on it and get it out of their own zone, and they do. Didn't get it out by much, but they were at least able to clear. Chopped at, and that puck is picked up by Kalis. Kalis to his own blue line, missed everybody. And now bringing it the other way on a rush is Pfiffner. He took a big hit. 2:56 remaining. Kalis tried to spring the home run pass and just missed. Tapped at behind the net. Picars comes out from the end board. Centering pass, that was tipped, and it just went wide off the stick of Joey Affinati. Dug out of the corner for the moment. Now Hesberger comes up with it.
Loyola controlling now for the last couple of shifts. Great long-range pass. Picars just couldn't quite handle it.
Zuba stepped aside a check, but couldn't keep control of the puck. And now on a break the other way is Picars. He's in, he shoots, goes high and flipped it over the top of the net. Now it's low on the end board. Loose puck in the corner. Hesberger is going to get there first. Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the third period. Picked off, 2-on-1 for Loyola, bad change, shot, that one is high.
2 2-on-1s in the last 20 seconds, and both guys deciding to shoot. Alanis getting a piece of both of those shots.
Feldheim at center ice, throws it ahead. Gutash trying to put on the brakes, stops, loses control of the puck. Here's Benz. Benz moves ahead on Feldheim. He's all by himself, throws it in. Bad bounce, that almost went in. Now Benz is going to have to tie it up and wait for help. He has it. Deep slot, shot, score! Dane Swanson is second of the game. Gives Glenbrook South a 2-1 lead with 1:35 left.
And this number 1 line does it again. And boy, give all the credit to Chris Benz. This was a 1-on-3. He makes something happen, gets the puck in deep, then retrieves it himself. What a pass out here to Dane Swanson. And Swanson makes absolutely no mistake, pulls the trigger, beats today. And what an opportune time. 1:35 to go in this hockey game, and Glenbrook South leads it 2-1.
On both goals, it was smart hockey by Chris Benz. One time in his own end, and that time in the Loyola end, because he knew he was all by himself in the middle of a change.
Yeah, 1-on-3, that was unbelievable.
Now Loyola is going to have to press. Matt Jennings carries over the blue line. Jennings is in, he's on his backhand. Big save by Galanis. We have seen Jennings have a couple of big rushes in this game. That time he got it to his backhand and then tapped it back to the forehand, but Galanis just holding his ground and holding on to his puck, and Loyola will call timeout. Give you another look. Jennings, big and strong, has good moves, and he is awfully hard to stop, not only in open ice, but also in traffic. So DJ LeVar will have a timeout, and Jim Philbin will also have a chance to talk to his guys and stress to them the importance of getting control of the puck, and if you go to take it out, get it off the glass and out. That is Mark LeVar speaking with the Loyola goal team. And keep an eye on Alex today as well to see when he comes out of the net. Dane Swanson with both goals in the contest for Glenbrook South. Jennings, a power play goal, the only score for Loyola, and you get a look at him there. And after the timeout, the top line for Loyola will stay out. 30 saves in the game for Steve Galanis. Today is in the net to our left. Draw controlled by Glenbrook South. Jennings shot, didn't get through. Benz chopping at it, trying to pry it free and pry it out. And he kicks it back out into the neutral zone. 1 minute left. At his own blue line, Higley. Nice play, moving across the center line and then sends it around. The entire student body for Glenbrook South on their feet. In his own end, Nick Kalis. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Flipped back in by Dane Swanson. And we will have an offside call. 40 seconds remaining in the game. We'll see if Jennings and his line mates are able to stay out. No. TJ LeVar will make a change. And you are looking right now at the Glenbrook South student body. Down to our right. Ramblers win the draw. 38 seconds remaining. You would suspect when Loyola gets it across center ice today will come out of the net. And there he goes. Extra attacker is on. Gutash has to put on the brakes. Lost the handle on the puck. Along the near boards, back out to the neutral zone. Jennings has it with 20 seconds left. Jennings loses it. Roller toward the net. That didn't get all the way there. Terry Feldheim to Gutash. O'Callahan on his backhand. 8 seconds left. Jennings has it. Looks, fires over the top of the net. And it hits the netting behind Galanis. We will have a face-off with 3.7 remaining. One more chance for Loyola. They have to win the draw and get off a shot. And now we have timeout called by Glenbrook South. And the key person on this play will be the centerman that Jim Philbin sends out to take the draw, because he really needs to, more so than win the draw, get the other centerman tied up, because as soon as the puck drops, the clock will start ticking. Jim Philbin exhorting his troops on, no doubt telling them, make sure you have everybody accounted for. And on the other hand, for Loyola, they'll try to win it clean back to the point and see if they can get a shot off. We'll see if they put Jennings back in the point. Steven Galanis might have to make one more save. He's made 31 so far. Aaron O'Callahan will take the draw for Loyola. Jennings is behind, but not on the point. Draw one into the corner. Gutosh centers, that didn't get through, and that's it. The Glenbrook South Titans win the 2006 Blackhawk Cup. A 2-1 final over Loyola Gold. Two goals by Dane Swanson. And that, and 31 saves by Steven Galanis. That's the combination that delivers victory for Glenbrook South as they win the Blackhawk Cup. When we come back, we will talk to the stars of the game, and we will see the trophy presentation. Our final score, Jim Philbin's Glenbrook South team, a 2-1 winner over Loyola Gold. Back with more from the United Center after this timeout.
On April 2nd, history will be made on the South Side as the White Sox unveil their 2005 championship banner. And only Comcast Sportsnet will show it to you live. Join Pat Boyle and Kerry Sayers for a special 1-hour edition of Land Rover Sports Night. See the entire banner ceremony as it happens and hear from the Sox before they begin the quest to repeat. Don't miss a special Land Rover Sports Night, Sunday, April 2nd at 6, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Now when you need it most. Introducing Singular Video, featuring scenes from The Sopranos and other HBO entertainment. HBO Mobile, only on Singular. Singular, raising the bar.
Hey, Chicago! I found a dealership that had the car that I was looking for at vhix.com. I mean, it took me like 10 minutes. I can't even take a shower that fast. Now, my dad, he's still looking in the newspaper trying to find a car. I'm like, Dad, that's like reading by candlelight. Get some electricity and go to vhix.com.
Research your next car, get a free price quote, and find a local dealer.
vhix.com. Funny name, great results. Dad, don't touch. Huh?
vhix.com, Chicagoland's roadmap to the automotive world.
Are you struggling to make your payments in a debt management program? Did you try credit counseling and it just didn't work? No wonder. The average credit counseling program takes 5 to 7 years to complete and 85% fail.
Don't continue to struggle. As America's largest bankruptcy law firm, we can guarantee you a lower monthly payment or even completely eliminate your bills. Let us offer you a real solution.
Call 1-888-7-HELP-US. That's 888-7-HELP-US for a free consultation.
McDonald's Sports Rise every morning on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggetts. Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll break down the Final Four with NIU basketball coach Rob Judson. Plus, our own Dan Plesac stops by to give us a preview of the 06 baseball season. So join us Monday at 5:30.
They're armed to succeed. Their cornerstones are rock solid. And with the addition of one key new face, it's time to make a run. Derek Lee and the Cubs return to Comcast Sportsnet, primed to make some noise in the National League.
And the Cubs have won it!
72 regular season games and everything that makes it more than the game. This April on Comcast Sportsnet, the capital of baseball.
Back at the United Center, Glenbrook South, a winner 2-1 over Loyola, and Steve Conroy is standing by with Coach Jim Philbin of Glenbrook South. Steve?
Thanks, Jim. We're joined now by the winning head coach from Glenbrook South, Jim Philbin. And Jim, first off, how does it feel, and what's the feeling on the team?
They're really excited. I'm going to lose it. I'll start crying here, but I'm just so proud of these kids. No one thought that we could do anything this year, and our motto was flying under the radar, and we flew under the radar and landed with a safe flight.
Where you go in life is up to you. There's one airline that can take you there. United. It's time to fly.
Hi, I'm Jim Corno, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Comcast Sportsnet Chicago. Thank you to all who supported this year's Comcast Sportsnet Sports Awards dinner benefiting the March of Dimes. This year, we are proud to have raised over $330,000 for the March of Dimes Birth Defects Foundation. And to date, the Sports Awards has raised more than $5 million for this wonderful charity. With your generosity, we will continue the fight against birth defects, premature birth, and infant mortality.
Friday, Central rivals collide in Hockeytown when the Blackhawks square off with the Detroit Red Wings, followed by Blackhawks Post-Game Live, presented by Verizon Wireless. Blackhawks Red Wings, Friday night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Back at the United Center where the Glenbrook South hockey team getting their individual awards for winning the Blackhawk Cup Championship. They're a winner today, 2-1 over Loyola, and in a moment, they will receive from Blackhawk captain Marty Lapointe and Coach Trent Yanni, who you see there. They will be awarded the Blackhawk Cup. And you see Jim Philbin, the head coach, getting the congratulations as well. But for Glenbrook South, as Jim Philbin had said, the motto was flying under the radar. Well, they're not doing that anymore because they are the state hockey champions. And the captains will now come up and they will receive the Blackhawk Cup. A lot of hard work, a lot of practice, a lot of sweat. And for this Glenbrook South team, a lot of guys playing hurt throughout the course of the year. And their season ends where everybody hopes to be when it's all over with, but Glenbrook South, they are the 2006 Blackhawk Cup champions. Let's go downstairs to Steve Conrad. He's standing by with Loyola coach DJ LeVar. Steve?
And we're joined now by Loyola head coach DJ LeVar, and DJ came up a goal short. At time really controlled parts of this game. How do you and how did the team feel?
Obviously we're real disappointed. We thought we came in, had some good executions, had some quality opportunities. It's just, it's one of those days. It wasn't meant to be. And, Glenbrook South hung in there. It's like we threw everything at them, and they just hung in there. We made 2 mistakes and 2 giveaways, and they're a team that takes opportunities on your turnovers. And, what can you say? I thought that my kids played well and they gave their heart out. That's all I can ask.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. You're talking about the 2 mistakes. The guy who scored both of those goals, Dane Swanson, did you know much about him going into the game?
Oh, sure. We knew about Dane, and, they had the one line of Benz, Vargo, and Swanson, so we were very well aware of it, and we just told the kids, when they're out there, they got to be aware because they love to flow around. And, it's just, as I said, we made a couple of mistakes, so that's the way the game goes sometimes.
Well, DJ, thanks for spending time. Congratulations on a great season. Nothing to hang your head for. DJ LeVar, head coach for Loyola, and we'll send it back upstairs to Jim Blaney.
Steve, thank you very much. And the Glenbrook South Titans, they are taking care of all the things that go with winning a championship. You get the cup, and then you pose for the impromptu photo. And when we come back after this timeout, we will hear from today's MVP, Dane Swanson. More to come from the United Center as Glenbrook South wins the Blackhawk Cup.
They're armed to succeed. Their cornerstones are rock solid. And with the addition of one key new face, it's time to make a run. Derek Lee and the Cubs return to Comcast Sportsnet, primed to make some noise in the National League.
And the Cubs have won it!
72 regular season games and everything that makes it more than the game. This April on Comcast Sportsnet, the capital of baseball.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggets. Monday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll break down the Final Four with NIU basketball coach Rob Judson. Plus, our own Dan Plesac stops by to give us a preview of the 06 baseball season. So join us Monday at 5:30.
Friday, the Bulls are on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Ben Gordon leads the charge into Charlotte as the Bulls playoff push continues against the Bobcats. Coverage starts with Bulls pregame live. Bulls Bobcats Friday night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
Discover Wisconsin and discoverwisconsin.com. Two great ways to learn about the state. Join us every week right here for Discover Wisconsin Television as we take a look at one of our amazing choice destinations. Then log on to discoverwisconsin.com for even more information and register for Chevy's Drive to Destination giveaway. Every month we're sending one lucky winner on an exciting vacation. Now register to win an escape to Marinette County. And remember to discover Wisconsin this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Only one show delivers the most in-depth news about the teams you care about. Jim Beam Sports Night. All the highlights, all the interviews, all the big stories. Jim Beam Sports Night, tonight at 10 and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. We are Chicago Sports.
Glenbrook South continuing to celebrate their Blackhawk Cup championship, and the star of the game was pretty easy. Dane Swanson with both goals in this 2-1 victory, and Steve Conroy is with the MVP right now. Steve?
We're joined now by the MVP of the Blackhawk Cup, Dane Swanson. And Dane, just first off, give us your feelings.
It's just overall just excitement, pure excitement, you know. It's great. Nobody thought we'd do much this year, and just to come out, fly under the radar, upset everybody, and just come win it all, it just feels great. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
You know, I had a chance to talk to you and a line mate, Chris Benz, before the game, and you guys were treating it like it was just another game. Was that part of the key to the success today, just the fact that you guys kept everything in perspective?
Yeah, most of our play is pure relaxed, you know, try not to get too uptight. A lot of our success comes from that, and that's pretty much the goal every game, get relaxed.
2 goals, and Chris Ben's obviously a big part of both of those goals. Can you talk about the play of a guy you've played with an awful lot throughout your high school career?
Yeah, well, I played with Chris last year. 3 years ago, I played with him at the Mission the year after that, and chemistry for us has just been bouncing like that all the time. Joey Vargo, I just put the puck in the net. Those two did the real work today, Joey and Chris, so they're the saviors.
Before we let you go, what are your plans for next year, Dane? Can you tell us where you're going and what you're going to be doing?
I'm going to be back here again, senior year, South Hockey. Hopefully we'll bring home another one.
Congratulations and good luck. Best of luck. Dane Swanson, MVP of the Blackhawk tournament. We'll send it back upstairs to Jim Blaney.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. So Glenbrook South, a hard-earned championship, a hard-fought championship. They were outshot in this championship game. They were doubled up, as a matter of fact, 32-16, but especially in the third period, the plan was laid out by Jim Philbin just to not take any chances, to chip the puck out of their zone, wait for an opportunity. They finally got their opportunity, and Dane Swanson buried it, and Glenbrook South wins the 2006 Blackhawk Cup with a 2-1 final score over Loyola.
Hey, hockey parents, give your kids a summertime hockey blast with Chicago Blackhawk Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico. We offer full-day summer hockey camps for boys and girls. Veteran coaches Randy Jordan, Ray Thabar, and Bill Martin lead our charge and are joined by Hawks heroes like Troy Murray and Steve Conroy. Our camps are comprehensive, challenging, and a total blast. Great coaches make the difference, and we've got them. Call 312-226-0002 or visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com. That's Chicago Blackhawks Youth Hockey Dream Camps presented by Athletico.
On April 2nd, history will be made on the South Side as the White Sox unveil their 2005 championship banner. And only Comcast Sportsnet will show it to you live. Join Pat Boyle and Kerry Sayers for a special 1-hour edition of Land Rover Sports Night. See the entire banner ceremony as it happens and hear from the Sox before they begin the quest to repeat. Don't miss a special Land Rover Sports Night, Sunday, April 2nd at 6, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hello again, everyone. Mark Shanowski with William Jackson. Join us for Sports Night tonight at 10.
Half of the Final Four field is set. We'll have highlights and reaction from both games in the Elite Eight.
Plus, the DePaul women battle LSU in the Sweet 16. Could the Lady Demons advance to the regional finals for the first time in school history?
We'll also sit down with former Bear Jerry Azuma and talk about his career with the Bears and what's next for the Zoom.
We'll see you at 10.
Get the inside story with ComcastSportsNet.com Sports Extra and Sports Blast emails. Learn the latest programming info, read special feature columns, and be the first to know about breaking news. Don't be left out. To sign up, head to ComcastSportsNet.com right now.
We're joined now by Steve Galanis, winning goaltender for Glenbrook South. And Steve, first off, your feelings on the game.
I thought we played pretty well. We knew that we'd be able to tire them out in the third period. They came out real hard, outshot us pretty bad first 2 periods. But we knew our strength, our conditioning was going to outlast them.
You know, the fact that Dane Swanson was the MVP of this tournament. You very easily could have been co-MVP, 30-plus shots. Talk about the defense in front of you. You made the first save. A lot of times didn't have to make the rebound save.
Oh, and that's been our key all year. I mean, even though they had 11, 12 shots in the first period, I don't know who was counting blocks, but I think we probably could have 50, 60 shots today if we didn't get in front of all those. They make my job so easy. I make the first save, they put it in the corner, and that's how it's been all year.
Loyola dominated the first period, and then I think Jim Philbin, your head coach, probably had words with you guys between periods, certainly on the bench. What was he saying to you guys?
Oh, we were just chill. I mean, we knew we were going to have this from before we got here. I mean, we're not a cocky team, but we're pretty confident. We just knew that eventually our speed was going to catch up with them, and we'd be able to take it in the third period. It's a tie game in the third period. They're not going to beat us.
Well, not only are you confident, but you're also state champ. Steve Galanis, thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Steve Galanis, winning goaltender for Glenbrook South, and we'll send it back upstairs to Jim Blaney.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. An outstanding performance by Galanis as really the shots on goal doubled up, 32-16 in favor of Loyola, but Galanis making 31 saves in the contest, and it's not often as a goaltender you're going to make 31 saves in a championship game and not get the MVP, but I think Galanis will agree that Dane Swanson with the 2 goals was indeed the MVP winner, and he deserved the award as well. But a lot of kids playing for Glenbrook South today certainly played at a championship level, and that is why they are the champions of the 2006 Blackhawk Cup. So for my partner, Steve Conroy, I'm Jim Blaney. Thank you for joining us in the United Center for this championship game. Our final score, once again, Glenbrook South 2, Loyola Gold 1, and Glenbrook South, they are the winners of the 2006 Blackhawk Cup.
Today's Blackhawk Cup game has been brought to you by Hinkley Springs.